Hi, I'm Trish. I received a letter yesterday from the Alfred Hospital. If you've been playing along at home, you know that I had to postpone a Lapband revision surgery because I got a date, very similar time frame for my breast reduction, and it was so important for me to get the breast reduction done as soon as possible, because otherwise I don't know how much longer I would have had to wait, and I know that the Lapband revision would have been, I wouldn't have had to wait very long after that. So when I postponed it, I told them that I would probably need around about 6 weeks after my breast reduction surgery to heal. What I didn't expect was to receive a letter from the Alfred yesterday saying, yesterday being the 30th of May, it is my pleasure to inform you that an admission has been planned for you on Friday 3rd of June. That's this Friday. I received this letter on the Monday and they want me to go in for surgery on the Friday. No, that's not going to happen. It's just not enough notice. And I had been told previously that I would need to do 2 weeks of Optifast. That doesn't give me time to do 2 weeks of Optifast. So I called them this morning and they said that they're having problems with their mail or something, and I said to them, that's just really not enough notice for me, like, here's a letter on Monday, can you be here on Friday? No. So normally I probably would have been able to, but I've got, well, not me so much, but the only person I have who can pick me up from the hospital, 1,000,000% wouldn't be able to on Friday. She's just going to be like run off her feet. So I'm going in next week now, which is a bit more notice and it works a bit better for me. So I'm actually quite excited because I've had this pain down in my tummy since day one of being lap-banded, which was a little over 3 years ago. Even my first checkup appointment when I went back to see the surgeon, I told them about this pain. I thought it might have been a hernia because when I press on it, and even now when I press on it, it goes away. And the pain, it's not there all the time. It's intermittent. Sometimes I'll just get like one episode of the pain. It might last for 10 minutes. It might last for 2 or 3 hours. And then I won't have any for weeks. And then other times I'll have the pain for weeks. And I can't figure out what's triggering it because, first I thought, sometimes it's when I eat, sometimes it's when I eat too much. Sometimes it's in the morning when I wake up on an empty stomach. So I can't really sort of correlate it to like overeating or not eating or anything like that. I can't correlate it with any particular foods I eat. Sometimes I get it when I exercise, sometimes I don't. It's really hit and miss. The only thing I will say is I've noticed the last couple of months, if I'm going to get the pain, and I don't get it every time I eat, but if I am going to get it, it's within half an hour of eating. So wherever the food gets to in that, half hour is where the pain is, I guess. I don't know. When you have this pain for such a long time, and it ranges from just a mild annoyance to, I think I need to go to the hospital, but I never have gone to the hospital because my local hospital, I worry that they're not going to know anything about lap bands and they're just going to really fuck things up. So, and to get into the Alfred from my place would just take too long, and I don't want to be driving with this pain and just... Anyway, so I've had all the tests. Now they're going to pop me in, they're going to open me up. Apparently it's going to be a very similar surgery incision-wise, or the same as when I had my lap band initially put in. They think it might be that the tubing is too long, even though they have seen on a CT scan that it doesn't look to be very long. I think it looks quite long because it goes all the way down to my pelvis. But they think that the tubing might be rubbing on my diaphragm and causing the pain. I don't know. My bet, my uneducated, non-medical bet, is that I have a hernia. That's what I'm expecting them to find. But anyway, they're going to go in, they're going to shorten the tubing, which hopefully will take it off my diaphragm and stop the pain. But while they're in there, they're also going to have a look for adhesions and fix those if there are any. They're going to look for hernias, fix those if there are any, and just check the position of the band and maybe, tweak that a little bit. So it's just going to be a good look around while they're in there. So If they get in there and I only need the tubing shortened and everything else is perfect, they'll do that and close me up, send me to recovery and send me home on the same day. But if they need to do more, you know, like fix a hernia or adhesions or, you know, reposition the band or whatever, if they find any surprises in there, then I'll probably stay overnight. As it turns out, when I spoke to the lady at the hospital to change the date, I don't need to do Optifast for 2 weeks because I'm not fat enough. Let's all just take a moment. I'm not fat enough anymore. She asked me how much I weigh, and because I don't weigh myself every day and I haven't weighed myself for a couple of days, I think last time I weighed myself I was 87, and I think that puts me at a BMI of about 30.1, which technically makes me obese, but you're not supposed to do Optifast unless you've got a BMI like over 30, so I'm borderline, shouldn't really be doing Optifast anyway. But I'm pleased that I don't have to do it. I can, although I might still have to do fluids and mushies and everything, that process, depending on what they do to me when they get in there afterwards. What else? What else? I wrote myself some notes that I can't see without my glasses. Now, I have had a breast reduction 6 weeks ago that was a little bit more involved than a regular breast reduction. By the time I go and have my Lapband revision, it will be 7 weeks. I'm still a little bit, I'm still in a little bit of pain, not really bad pain, but I'm just being a little bit careful with my boobs still. Otherwise, I feel pretty good, and I did call my surgeon's rooms, my plastic surgeon's rooms, and asked, is it okay for me to go ahead with this Lapband revision surgery? And he said yes. When I saw him last week, he gave me the go-ahead to go back to the gym. So I figure if I can go to the gym, I can go in for a little surgery, what will most likely be a very little, very simple surgery. So in my excitement, because I didn't know about this earlier yesterday, I did go up to my gym, and my suspension at the gym was supposed to last for another 2 weeks. So I went up and I was really, really excited, and I said, can I come back to the gym tomorrow? So they reversed it all, and I was all excited about going to the gym today. But as I'm having surgery next week, it is not worth it for me to unsuspend my gym membership for, you know, like a week or whatever, and then go back and possibly have to, depending on what I have done, resuspend it again, because it costs me money to do that. So I had to call the gym today and say, just ignore what I said yesterday, just leave it at the date that I initially said that I'll be coming back, because that'll give me, you know, like a week or so to recover after this Lapband revision surgery, which I think will probably be fine, unless they do more and I've got to then have another 6 weeks off the gym, and I know the surgeons won't let me off early on that. So I'm just going to take this time to rest and, you know, just go for little walks and stuff. Because a week isn't long enough. Even if I went back to the gym, it would be with the aim of regaining my fitness and my strength. I can't do that in a week. It's probably going to take me about a month to regain all that, so there's just no point going back. What else? Oh, I am a little bit nervous going in for another anaesthetic, because I'm normally pretty good with anaesthetics. I've only come out of an anaesthetic badly twice, but this last time with my breast reduction, it was horrific. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I felt like I was drowning. I was coughing a lot. I was vomiting. Like, I've never vomited in my life. It was the most violent vomiting I've ever done in my entire life, and I know that's probably not going to happen again. I think that only happened because it was such a very long surgery. But I will be nervous. But, you know, I'll talk to the anaesthetist about that on the day. He can probably, you know, do something for me. I'm not going to need the, you know, truckloads of painkillers that I had to have after my breast reduction. Or I might, because I'm a bit of a silk, don't cope with pain too well. And I am, you know, I am a bit of a worrywart. I do always look at the worst case scenario. And I do that because I have been in for a surgery in the past. I went in for like simple keyhole gallbladder surgery and woke up in just like screaming agony, and there was nothing they could do for the pain. They gave me all the drugs they could, and I was still in terrible, terrible pain because they'd had to convert to open surgery. So I know what it's like to go in for what you think is going to be a very simple keyhole procedure and come out with a cut this long on your abdomen that just makes you wish you were dead for 3 weeks. So I do like to think of all the possibilities. So going in for this simple shortening of my lap band tubing surgery, which, you know, most likely will be a keyhole in and out on the same day, very little pain, back to normal in a couple of days. I do need to prepare myself mentally for in case they get in there and there is just like an absolute shitstorm and, you know, it needs a lot more fixing. But, you know, I've coped with that sort of shit before, so I can cope with it again. But I do need to think about it. And a lot of people say, oh no, you overthink things, blah, blah, blah. I didn't overthink my gallbladder surgery, and I wish I had. I would have been a lot better prepared. So I think that's about it. I will update you next week after I have this procedure done and let you all know how it goes. Other than that, I'm very excited to be finally, hopefully, going to get some resolution to this pain. Hurting now, and I haven't eaten for hours. I haven't exercised, I haven't done anything. I'm just sitting here making a video, and it's starting up. So that's it for now, and I'll talk to you about the lap band next week.